This afternoon the topic's going to be shoeing the mature towing horse. So this is a horse that's 5-year-old onwards. Everything about this horse is set, it's muscly developed. Obviously muscle can deteriorate, that's obvious, but it's a mature horse. So you know what I'm talking about here is I'm not trying to straighten the horse, but allow level flat footfall and even weight distribution to the bony column. And this is my everyday approach to shoeing this sort of horse. And the reason I do that is to improve the horse's comfort, most importantly, and increase the length in the horse's working life. And the last thing, which is just from a completely appearance and stance, is cosmetically improving. I've put there movement. I'm a big believer, when I was talking this morning, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the only bit I can influence as a farrier is the landing, the loading and the breakover. Everything else in its limb is how it is. So that's my concentration area. So especially with this horse, it's a developed horse, it's a mature horse, you know, I'm just trying to keep it comfortable and extend its working life. And I've done this approach that's on here, I've done a couple of horses, and it does increase the working life. Inevitable, the horse has got a conformation defect, so it's inevitable that it's going to develop side bone, arthritis, it's going to develop that, and this is just to try and help it and put that off further. But inevitable, the horse has got a conformation problem, it's going to develop it. So when I say movement, you can only influence and improve landing, because obviously we want to aim for level flat footfall, loading, and the takeoff, which is the breakover. And I've put there, any irregular in-flight movement, dishing, plaiting, is out of our control. And excess shoe weight, in my opinion, can worsen it. So we're going to talk about today about how I shoe them. And I try to shoe, I've put there about side weight. Side weight is an even bigger thing. And when I say side weight, I'm on about the shoe that is heavier on the outside than the inside. I prefer to have the shoe weight and the shoe equal. And I've underlined the pendulum effect. And I like to explain it like a pendulum. Pendulum is a weight hanging on a piece of string. You pull it to a distance and it swings. The heavier that weight is, the further it swings. And that's how I'm just trying to make this horse comfy. So it's all about landing, loading and breakover. So, but all the principles I was talking about this morning, you know how I shoe horses now. So that's an old picture, it's a bit of a shadow in the corner, that we got when we were at college. It just shows that the limbs move in a circular action, it swings outwards and inwards, breaks over to the lateral toe. I find the breakover excessively to the lateral toe. I'm not going to try and make it break over central, that's how it breaks over, so try and make it comfy, as comfy as you can. So the shoeing plan, what we want to achieve is even weight distribution to the bony column, level flat footfall, and then cosmetically improve the stance, basically. So that's to try and make its appearance look better. So how do I go about achieving this? I look at it, and like I've been saying, I can't just do it in one shoe, and it's a gradual, like the one this morning, there's faults with that, and it's a gradual learning curve, a gradual curve to improve his foot. So I go about and assess the horse's movement with shoes, pre-trim, post-trim. A lot of time I'll just look at it and I'll trim it and I'll walk it up and put it back to try and achieve that level flat footfall. So my shoe choice would be a lateral extension or a lateral re-establishment shoe. And you may think, what's a lateral re-establishment shoe? Well, when I say re-establishment, you're trying to re-establish the symmetry of the foot and put that foot back in the box. So if the horse is lacking on the outside, you give it a bit of width on the outside, that isn't a lateral extension, that's just re-establishing the symmetry of that foot. And a lateral extension is beyond the norm. That's when you're trying to shoe it even wider. I've put there, it can be associated with an open heel or a bar shoe. I've been talking to people outside, it depends on the individual horse, and for me to stand here and say this is what I do with all of them, You know, it depends on the individual movement, and sometimes you can't just, you've got to get weight bearing to the bony column, but it's like this lateral re-establishment, that's putting it back where it should be, and that's what I'm doing. This is a mature horse, so we're going to try and create even weight bearing to the bony column. I'm not going to put a big massive extension around the side of it, because that's when you start putting stuff like that, that's when it's putting strain on your lateral ligaments, on the ligaments of your knee, and it starts landing heavy on the outside. That's when it starts opening up and twanging your lateral joint margins. So I'm talking here about just trying to get this horse landing level, cosmetic weight bearing, and cosmetically make it look better. So there's key factors to the shoe. I'll put the shoe up, which is a shoe that I use quite every day. It's just a concave shoe. I prefer to use a concave shoe because it's light in weight. It's a light section. I've just spoke about weight. It's a wide low section. It's a bit of inch per freight. The lateral heel, I bumped the lateral heel up to get a bit more cover there. I've followed along the outside branch to get my nail holes depth, because we're trying to get what I was on about this morning, this white line penetration. So if you're trying to give a foot a bit of width from the outside back where it should be, which is a lateral re-establishment, you want to get that back where it should be, you've got to have your nail holes deeper. Because if you don't, that's when your hoof wall starts breaking up, because you're trying to pitch, you've got to have that depth. So, when I say cosmetically improve its stance, I like to put the clip, it's hard to see because obviously you can't see where the clip is because it's on a shadow. I like to put the clip in line with the centre of the third metacarpal. So, that's where I think it should be, to the outside. And the horses, they break over so heavy to the lateral, they're even breaking over to the outside of the clip. So the shoe's actually in this bag, if anyone wants to have a look at it, and you can see how much the clip is to the outside. So the shoe is symmetry, the outside nails are deeper because of how we're going to fit the outside, and the clip is in line with the centre of its third metacarpal to make it look straight and cosmetically improve its stance. But the most important thing, that's cosmetics, the most important thing is level flat foot form and even weight distribution. So this is a horse that I did it on just to explain what I'm looking at. This is Anya. You can see that she's pretty pigeon-toed. It's quite common with this associated with pigeon-toed that will be wide in the chest, base narrow. That's commonly associated with it. Because of the hoof grows towards weight bearing, so because of the way that she's landing weight bearing, it starts to develop an inside flare. The outside horn tubules, which you'll see in a minute, start to load and get compressed, and compressed horn grows at a slower rate than uncompressed horn. So even though you shoe it and you get it back to where it should be, every time you've got to keep realigning it. And this is a horse I've shown for a while, but it actually went about 8 weeks this time. It went too long. So all the work I'd done had gone right back to square one again. So it was quite a good time to take a picture and show you. And I like to see them walk up and see how they're landing, and some horses, you know, they might have a slight rotation from the knee, so they might always land. Ideally, you want parallel heel landing, then down and off. But it might land slightly outside first and down. And it's not the landing on the outside first that's the problem. It's the sharp clunk on the inside that's the problem. So with horses like that, that's when I would think about putting a bar shoe on. Depends on the foot. This foot's fine, it's got a decent outside wall, so it's not really contracted, so it doesn't need that stabilisation of the bar shoe. And what I do if they are landing on the outside and clunking down, to me they land right on we've got a sharp outside edge of the concave, they land right on that corner and they use that as a pivot point. So what I do with one of them is I would take the edge of it off like a sidebone shoe, so that it's always going to land on the outside, because that's how it lands, that's how it maturely lands. So, but it's to ease that land and get rid of the snapping down on the inside, which causes the soft tissue damage. So we'll go back to this horse. This is Anya, so she went too long. You can see her. So this is the one I just shot her. So that's zoomed in on the hoof capture. You can see what I mean about the flare on the inside. It's not dead straight on the outside. So this one doesn't, what I was talking about a massive lateral extension. This one's what I would call a lateral re-establishment shoe. It wants just a little bit round it to put our toe proportions back in the right position. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. So there's a foot.
Alan's took it away.
Oh, Alan's took it. Right, Alan's took my little thing to show you, the little laser pen. Obviously on the right hand side here is the outside toe, and you can see that the outside toe is tighter than the inside toe. So this foot, to get it back, to re-establish it, wants a bit of width around the outside toe. The outside heel is not bad, and it's quite a strong foot, so that doesn't need a bar shoe on. And you can see in line with the pointer frog, using the frog as a true guide, so we're going to put that clip to the outside, which will be in line with the centre of the third metacarpal. So there's the shoe that I've made for that one. And at the same, I've put a slight jump in the outside. Instead of fuller in the outside, which just spread it, you know, I've just stamped it, used my stamp to get the extra depth. It's not radical, it's not massively on the inside, really coarse and frog-eyed, because you've just seen the foot. It doesn't actually need that much around that area. So it's just a little bit coarser in relation to the foot. And you can see on the shoe, if you look at where the clip is, I've put a centre dot on the inside edge. That is where I would normally put the clip, and I've moved it just a touch to the outside. So that's the shoe on the foot. And you can see the distances. So the distance before was actually tighter on the outside. It's actually slightly bolder on the outside now. And you can see your proportions of your foot, either side of the frog, yeah? And the heel fit, centre of the stalk, a bit more in the outside heel to allow just to get round the foot and on the heel as well. If the outside heel was the same width as the inside, you can't get round the foot and on it, okay? So this is it from the front, after that shoeing, and this is quite a good picture to see. I've put some oil on it, and actually it's good because it enhances these lateral growth rings, and you can see how much compressed they are, and that shows you how much it's loaded on the outside and how it's compressing, which is good. And because the horse has gone too long, that shoeing, I've done a bit with that shoeing, but that shoeing, there's more I could have done with it, but it's the bigger picture, and you'll see within 6 weeks later it comes a lot better. So there's a picture from the outside just to see. You can see the lateral growth rings again. They're quite hard to pick out because of the picture. It's got adequate length for it to keep it comfy. This is it from the front, and this is when I went back to it after 6 weeks. And it's not bad, but it's ready for shoeing. Its clips have just started to pop out the wall. And that's it there. It's still pretty much in the right position, but it's lost its bit of outside that it had. So it's ready for another sort out. And that's it after it's been shod. And that's the right front. And that quite well shows, if you look where the clip is, straight in line with the centre of the third metacarpal. So that cosmetically shows where it is. But like I said, once it takes off and leaves the ground, there's nothing you can do about that area. You can't, that's how the horse moves. And that's when you don't want to be doing too much, and you don't want to be altering too much. You just want to keep the horse as comfy as possible. So there's a closer view, and you can see that's just like the second shoeing because the other one went too long, and the foot is already, the hoof catcher is a malleable structure, so it's already started to come out to that outside. So eventually, you will actually have to take some outside off it, because eventually it will just keep going out to it. You don't want to make a flare. So, and that was what it was like before. So that was it, and then after two shoeings, it become to that. Okay? So that's just my approach to keeping them comfy and helping them. So we've got a horse outside that I'm going to shoe. I don't think we need a coffee break. I think we've had about 100 today. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go out and assess the horse, have a look at it. Obviously the most important thing I'm looking at is what I said, level flat footfall, even weight distribution, and then cosmetically I'm going to put the clip to the outside. I'm going to shoe one foot with modifying the machine made shoe, and I'm going to make a shoe for the other foot. I always make the shoes up front, but you can modify the shoe and do the job. But by the time you modified the shoe, you could have half made one, so I think you get more out of it making the shoes. Right, has anybody got any questions?
When you're putting on the lateral or medial extension, you cautiously how much outside of the suggested projected line from the hairline going to the floor as it descends. If you're outside of that, you were talking earlier about your not overly radically going outside the box.
Yeah, I'm talking about this, like a re-establishment or an extension.
When you think actually, notice you say about putting a slight roll to the outside.
Yeah.
Do you think that you also look at the possibility of just lowering that outside slightly more as well, because the triangle apex is great?
Yeah, like the way I always look at it is no matter how you treat the foot, it's always going to land. It's going to land hard on the outside, and I think you've got to get level flat footfall. But for every bit you take off the outside, you've got to give it more width because it's going to come under further. So that's how But for this, it's just a mature horse, so we're just looking at keeping it comfy. And I don't want to be sticking big extensions on. And obviously, if it was younger and it needed that, then that's to assess at the time, and that's what I do. But I'm a big believer in just flat footfall and trying to get even weight distribution in the ideal world. But there's some horses you could give them an inch on the outside, and you still wouldn't achieve level for the even weight distribution. But when you go down that road, then you've got to take into consideration what I said about the side weight, because then the shoe comes heavier that side. And Gary Hood did his fellowship on lateral extensions, and it was actually Gary I spoke to, and he actually proved in his thesis that when the shoe is really heavier outside, so it's a lot heavier on the outside than the inside, it actually brings the feet closer together because of this like pendulum effect. Yeah. So I try to just like what I said, even weight distribution and level flat footfall. But we'll have a look at the horse. But if they are landing and rocking down, to me, if you can keep taking that outside down, and it can be balanced. And sometimes you can take the outside down lower than the inside, but it's always that's how it lands. So that's why I like to roll that outside off. Instead of a lateral extension, you always have your ground surface flat. I like to go halfway, so you're halfway, so it's more of a roller outside on it, just to ease it over.
When you get that hoof to where you want it, would you just put a normal shoe on it?
The problem is, we just put a normal shoe on it is what I said about your nail depth on the outside, and I have actually done that. I've got it to where I wanted it, and I've just put a normal shoe on it, but then the outside starts breaking up then, because you haven't got that depth there, and it lands so hard on the outside. But if it was one that was just barefoot, like that one this morning, that it lost that inside off, eventually that will come stronger. I'm not saying it's ever going to be a perfectly symmetrical shape, but it'll come stronger. But I think you need that depth on the outside, and the depth in relation to the individual foot. The shoe that's going around, that's quite deep on the outside, because that's for Bucky, and that one needs a bit more. So, and that's actually a shoe I took to my AW, that was a specimen. Just a shoe for keeping horses comfy.
At what point do you consider radiography more useful than the eye?
You what, sorry?
At what point do you feel that radiography...
Yeah, I think radiography is good to see where that pedal bone's actually lying in there.
I wasn't just talking about the pedal bone. I got caught by one the other day that's got a compromised medial basically a quarter of an inch longer
Yeah,
to the condyle, so it's just like, what the hell?
yeah.
To go with that.
Yeah, because it's a manual structure, but what I was saying is if you know, a lot of these, when I've started doing them, they've gone down the road to the vets, and they've just been slightly soft tissue damage has been wrong with them. And then we've actually x-rayed them, and I think an x-ray straight from the front, and you can see it is brilliant. But the problem I find with a lot of the x-rays is the x-rays are taken when the horse needs trimming. So you can tell anyway